Captain Hampsten. How can I help you?
Hi, Captain. How are you doing today? My name is John. I'm with Audit Archives. How are you doing today?
Good.
It's good to hear. So we have a report. We have live body cams that come through our office from auditors across the country, as well as various other companies. I want to find out what the officer's name was that is currently assigned to Cruiser 509.
Okay.
You know.
What did they do?
Oh, well, the body cam shows them outside of jurisdiction. I spoke with your GIS card.
Where was that at?
It was about a mile south of your city's jurisdiction lines, traveling southbound. Cherries were turned on. There's a little RV park that's right before there, and you have your City of Guymon sign. I can get you the GPX coordinates. I just have the video right now, and it came in, and I talked to your cartographer. They verified that it is not within your city limits. And then when we have jurisdictional issues, that we consider those a class 1 violation. So we take jurisdictional issues really serious because if they are validated, that's a big problem. So
So what if he's dual commissioned?
What if he's dual commissioned?
That's a problem too.
Oh, well, if he's dual commissioned for both the county and the city, I mean, I don't know. I have a legal team. I'm not a lawyer, but I do know that when we have reports of officers outside of their typical jurisdiction, so there is a City of Guymon cruiser that is traveling outside of the City of Guymon's jurisdictional limits. It's our job to investigate. So that's what I'm doing, and part of my investigation is to be able to file records requests. And I need to know the officer's name in order to file those properly, and I don't think that's asking too much.
Well, there's nothing actually to file. He was in his jurisdiction. He's dual commissioned for county and city.
He's doing commission for county and city.
If the incident happened in the city and he happened to follow him outside the city limits,
that's not the case at all. I mean, I understand what active pursuit is.
But no, he's dual commissioned, city, county.
He's dual commissions for the city and county, and so, and pardon me, I just have this is only questions. Does that mean that city vehicles then extend into the county area and work within the county jurisdiction normally?
Yes.
Okay, that's normal. May I help you?
Yeah, this is Sheriff Bully. I was returning your call.
Oh, hi, Sheriff Bully. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How can I help you?
I was just calling to find out a little bit about how dual commissioned officers work between city and county in Texas County.
Okay.
So I basically try to put to rest auditing videos on the internet, and they come through, and we want to figure out, what's really going on and put a closure to it, so that way it's not an open video that's getting phone calls for 10 years later at departments. None of that's helpful at all. So the video that came in was of an officer that was doing a motor vehicle stop within your county and outside of the city of Guymon. The information collected was that the officer is dual commissioned between the county and the city, and the question that we have for this report is, that dual commissioning, does that allow officers from the cities that they're also commissioned in the counties to make traffic stops for motor vehicle violations within the county and not just their city?
Okay, first of all, I don't have any dual commissioned officers.
So let me make sure I got this clear.
Between the county and the city, there's no dual commissioning. I'm not sure who told you that they're dual commissioned?
Well, that's interesting, because that was the captain of the Guymon Police Department, and he was being confronted. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
He was being confronted with the original data, and and just basic questions on jurisdictional limits, and why, just to give you a little background on why this is in our office now. There's a situation in Northwest.
So let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Are you an attorney or what?
What is? No, I'm just a data clerk. I'm a data analyst, data clerk.
Okay.
So what has been coming into the office has been in Northwest New York. There is a town of Hamburg and a city of Lackawanna. They are adjacent to one another, and they both have officers that are collecting fees for motor vehicle violations. And the city of Lackawanna, the town of Hamburg was stationing their police officers outside their town and inside the city of Lackawanna. Well, the state of New York allows for officers to have interjurisdictional limits for up to 100 yards to enforce state law and penal codes. So it didn't extend into motor vehicle violations or ordinances, because obviously the will of the town of Hamburg couldn't be affecting the people of the city of Lackawanna, and vice versa. They don't have they're building their own towns and cities. So that was the question I brought to the captain was what's the cooperation between the county and the city, that a city police officer would be sitting in the county and collecting revenue that really is for motor vehicle violations in the county. Unless it's a revenue sharing program, I just don't understand how that would be happening. And his answer was that he was dual commissioned.
Okay, so first of all, I don't have any of the details of where this officer was, or were located in the county or anything like that. So,
right.
But I can tell you this. All right. What it boils down to is that if an officer observes a violation in Oklahoma, if an officer observes a violation within the city limits, and he travels during the traffic stop, travels outside the city limits, and makes a traffic stop because of a violation that happened inside the city limits,
right,
that is perfectly legal. It's called fresh pursuit.
Right.
The officer is allowed to. The officer is allowed to complete the original violation paperwork, whether it be a ticket or a warning, and then release the person at that point. So I don't think that it has anything to do with multi-jurisdictional.
But you're speaking about active pursuit. If there's I guess the facts are different. And obviously when we release our report, it has to be factual. Slander would not be acceptable in any way. So what we're looking at is our reports now. In this particular audit, I will say that the footage of the actual stop was not delivered. It was footage of the stop, the initial stop, the initiating of the stop. So the footage was taken and sent in, and there was a subjective report that was provided to us that said the officer had initiated his lights beyond the city limit jurisdiction. Now that I couldn't confirm or deny that, so obviously the cruisers are equipped with data that captures that type of data, and we have to have a public FOIA request or public records request to bring in that data and just capture what really happened.
Right, and that would be between you and the Guymon Police Department as far as that. But I can tell you that right now,
you don't have any,
as we speak,
yes, sir,
there is not a multi-jurisdictional agreement between Guymon Police Department and the Texas County Sheriff's Office. They do have the authority to make a stop for a violation that occurred inside their city limits, even if it travels outside the city limits. Now, under the Oklahoma statute, in an emergency, the sheriff, the Highway Patrol can authorize or ask for assistance from a municipality to aid them in performance of police duties. Meaning, if I am, I'm a county deputy and I'm needing some help, I can authorize a municipal officer to come out and act on my behalf outside the city limits.
By request, yeah, that makes sense too.
By request,
right?
Yes, and that's without a multi-jurisdictional or a mutual aid agreement such as you're talking about.
That makes a lot of sense. I just trying to make sense of everything. And again, my job is not to get people in trouble. It's to make sense for the American people, because honestly, there's thousands of videos coming out all the time on YouTube. A lot of them are 7, 8 years old. Some of them are 4 or 5. Most of them are 3 to 4 years old. And a lot of times that when we do this back end administrative work, the departments have already dealt with the issue, and they're really tired of hearing about it over and over again from the random person that sees a YouTube video, and so that's kind of where we kind of built our aggregation. Go ahead.
Yeah, but if the department has, if there was no wrongdoing, it doesn't matter to me if somebody keeps showing a video over and over and over. The problem is it's the same with the media. If the media shows you an 8-second clip of a 3-minute video,
right?
So you don't. A lot of people make snap judgments off of that 8 seconds of that 3-minute video, and then once they see the whole video, then they go, "Oh, well, that's why that officer did that," or "Oh,
that makes so much more sense.
That's why this," And so, it really doesn't. And personally, it doesn't bother me. They can play videos all they want. If there's no wrongdoing, there's no wrongdoing. If there's wrongdoing, then there's wrongdoing. It's dealt with. It goes on. You go on with life. If you stick around and if you get bothered by people playing videos over and over and over, well, then you're just going to be a pissed off guy all the time. Life's too short. Life's too short for that. So
that's true.
I believe that we have very good officers around here in our county. I don't believe that any of them intentionally go out and say, I don't think they wake up and say, I think I'll go violate somebody's rights today. That's not the case. I don't. I haven't seen that, and I will say we have good officers, and I think that, for the most part, I think that it's a case of that 8 seconds of a 3-minute video, and people make snap judgments off of it, and then they later learn the truth. But then the damage is done and all that stuff. So
that's what we're trying to fix. That's exactly.
I don't.
That's what we're trying to address, is that what you're describing. If we go and do the administrative work and spell out what happened in these cases, because honestly, you'd have to have a whole department to make a press release for every video that comes out. I don't know about Texas County, but some places like Miami, for instance, they the PR department is understaffed to be able to handle every video that a citizen takes with a camera and post on TikTok or YouTube. So yeah, and obviously we're not doing that either. We're just trying to to take the significant ones, and then also seeing that it's substantiating or objecting to certain accusations, like the allegation of a city officer working outside of jurisdiction. While it might not seem like a big deal, in a grand scheme of things, it's a really big deal. Those are the type of things that what do you do when if there's violence outside of your jurisdiction? What happens when something actually does go wrong and you're working outside of the law? That's going to be a big problem. So we just like to audit and see what's going on and find out if it's supposed to be done that way. When I heard the words dual commission, they're just
there's multi-jurisdictional task forces that meant that different officers are a member of. And so, even in our county, there are multi-jurisdictional, agreements, I guess, or commissions, I guess, if you want to call them. But I don't have any multi-jurisdictional agreements based out of my office to where officers can act outside the city limits.
Right.
It is a case-by-case scenario when people are able to do that. They have to make a call, and it has to be approved in order for that to happen.
That makes sense.
We don't just give blanket authority to anyone.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it's I don't know
the details or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not asking to investigate it either. I'm not. I'm definitely not asking to investigate it. What it looks like is they're just outside of Guymon, headed toward. We've seen them. We've got 2 reports. We have seen them on the 412. We've seen them on the 54, and those are the reports that were coming in. They're just outside of jurisdictional limits. But what the reports I have are they're initiating the traffic stops right outside city limits. Now, that I can't say whether they observed someone's, if they have their radar, pointed inside the city limits, and they see someone speeding, and then they go outside the city limits when they pursue them. I can't see how that would be a violation of law because they're speeding inside the city. So. And so I hear what you're saying, and it sounds like it's about where I see it as is that violations occurring within a city, no matter where the officer is, should be able to be pursued and actively stop being done, even if it's outside the city. Right. But if it's a violation observed outside the city, then there shouldn't be a stop at that point in time.
If they see a violation that is not occurring within their jurisdiction, then they would have to have some type of authority from the sheriff, the highway patrol, or someone with jurisdiction by statute to be able to act on that.
It makes sense. Thank you so much for your time. I don't want to keep you very much longer. I know you're a busy man, and I thank you for calling me back.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, have a good day.
Yes, sir.